protective supports like Janna, Soraka, so we'll see that come in the bot lane for Frank Pond. Maybe a comfort champ for him since he's a substitute, right?
Yeah, it'll be
kind of easy to play.
Yeah,
can sit in the back
and just
kind of got to worry. You got to worry about
the
positioning.
Ambulance.
You got to worry about positioning, and it's not a brain dead champion by any stretch. But a couple other picks being hovered here. Lucian, another top tier pick for his position in the AD carry. Roll and Malphite being hovered here. Definitely a good champion in the top lane. Some good hard engage against the likes of Soraka wouldn't be a bad idea. They've got 4 seconds left to see if they change anything. I'm thinking that this is going to be what's locked in.
Lock it in. Yeah, Lucian, still a very strong pick. The Kog'Maw, Kalista are banned. After those two, that's probably the next after that. You got Corki and Ezreal are kind of in that same tier, but Lucian very strong as well. And then the Malphite picked up in that top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Another strong pick. And Wet Noodle fight in the top lane. The Nautilus versus Malphite matchup, they're going to get pretty tanky, pretty fast. So not expecting a whole lot of action there without jungler presence, but we shall see. And we get to see what Vis Major is going to answer here with. They don't know the mid lane here, they don't know the support, so they can save their counter for the last pick because they are on red side, and that's what they're going to do here. They're going to pick up the jungle and the AD carry, and it is going to be
the Nocturne.
4-2 back to his old tricks.
Yeah,
the Nocturne pick.
Yeah, definitely one of his favorite champions. We saw it quite a few times last year. And then the Ezreal as well picked up for Pulsis. It'll be interesting to see where he comes, how he'll perform on that, not playing Sivir or Ashe. And we are just being told that apparently our mic has been muted for most of this. Tilted.
Definitely tilted.
Definitely tilted. So now that you can hear us, welcome to week 1, day 1 of SKL, everybody. My name is Kevin Big Booty Bodie, and with me I have got Carter Silky Mittens Asselford, fresh out of the shower. We apologize for the mic issues, everybody. It's, week 1, day 1, not a great start, but we're past it. We're over the hill. We got that out of the way.
We're still doing our stretches here.
Gotta work out the kinks.
Yeah, work out the kinks. We're back at it though. Yeah. Back at it again with the SKL.
Ooh,
and we've got some picks to talk about.
Yes,
I don't know how. I'm not quite sure when you guys came in with the audio here, so we're just gonna keep talking like you've heard it all. Of course, you can see for yourselves the team compositions here. The Lux and the Braum picked up in the final rotation. For Anixia eSports, and it looks like. Speaking of 4-2, back to the old tricks, Taeyong might be reunited with his love in the mid lane, Ahri, one of his favorite champions from last split.
Definitely one of his strongest ones. I think he had one of our top plays of the entire season on that Ahri with that blind charm over the wall.
The blind prediction charm.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. But I like the Lux and the Braum pickups for Anixia. That Braum, he's going to be throwing out that shield in that bot lane whenever Ezreal's, trying to spam all his poke. Braum just walks up with that shield, throws it up. Blocks some of that, and Lux, of course, even if she gets behind, she just needs to be far away and just ult, and you know what, you can pick up a couple kills that way.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of zone control here for the Anixia eSports squad against Vis Major. Vis Major has a lot of dive here with the Ahri, the Nautilus, and the Nocturne as well. The jungle matchup is one I'm going to be very interested in watching throughout this game, Big Booty. The Nidalee top tier pick right now. Is really kind of the top jungler in deciding the flow of the play. Can clear camps extremely well, can gank, has lots of mobility. So she dictates the flow of the early game pretty much. Against a Nocturne who will, for the most part, want to rush to level 6 to get that paranoia. It's going to be interesting to see. We've seen it in the past 4-2, being able to stick with the pressure, keep up with these other junglers that kind of have a better early game, just force the early game on these champions that aren't known for it. So it'll be interesting to see if he can do it against kind of a better squad in Anixia eSports. This is probably also worth noting that this is the biggest competition that Anixia eSports will have faced thus far.
Yeah, they really kind of steamrolled all their way through qualifiers, so they haven't really faced any adversity yet, so it'll be interesting to see how they come up against it, but I think they'll do pretty well. But I like what you were saying about 4-2 on that Nocturne. Once he gets that paranoia, he's definitely going to be looking to do a lot of work for his team. As Vis Major, they have always been a very jungle-focused team. 4-2, actor, metaphor, whatever you want to call him, has always really been the strongest member of that team.
Right.
And you know what? Maybe if Anixia has watched some game film from last season. Maybe they'll try and focus that and try and keep him down.
Yeah, could be the case. We are going to take a quick break, though, guys. We are going to show a little bit of music. I was going to say we show some ads. I'm not sure if we have it. I'm not sure if we have any.
Did someone say Swamp Thing?
Raise your Swamp
Raise your Swamp Things in chat, everyone.
Yeah, we're going to get it going here for the first game. Why not? Might as well. But we'll be right back with Anixia eSports and Vis Major Gaming. Don't go anywhere.
And welcome back, everybody. I don't know about you, Silky, but my Swamp Thing is fully erect after that.
Yeah, definitely just swamped.
Definitely absolutely swamped. We're into Champ Select here for our Game 1 between Anixia eSports and Vis Major. On blue side for Game 1, we have got Anixia eSports. We have Tiny Warhead playing Malphite in the top lane, Pistol 44 on Nidalee in the jungle, Sniper playing Lux in the mid lane, and Nazir and Vazo bringing in that Lucian Braum bot lane.
And on the red side, we've got Vis Major Gaming, as we've got a pause here. In the top lane, it is going to be VM Panda on Nautilus. In the jungle, 4-2. Oh, back at it again with the cams.
Stop.
Oh, sorry. I used that meme twice already. That's overdoing it. My bad. The unseen face cam is the deadliest. In the jungle, we've got 4-2 on Nocturne. Taeyong back at it in the mid lane. Sorry, I had to throw it in there. Playing Ahri in the bot lane is going to be VM Pulsis. And Frank Pond, the newcomer, the substitute, going to be playing Ezreal and Soraka.
Yeah, so a bit of a pause here, right, as the game starts.
Just a bit.
Just a bit of a pause. It's not a huge pause.
No, just a small pause.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Anixia eSports is having the problems.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So we will deal with that. But Silky, as we try to deal with these tech issues, we'll try to work through them as quickly as possible for you guys. But looking at our two team comps here, whose are you like, just based off team comps here, whose are you liking better going into Game 1?
I'm kind of liking Anixia eSports a little bit better. Soraka pick, it's going to be okay. It'll be highly dependent on how he can position in team fights and how they can play the early game. Braum Lucian, one of the most volatile bot lanes in League of Legends right now in the current meta, and I think just always, as long as those champions remain relatively the same, just the double shot passive from Lucian is going to be super huge in proccing that Braum stun. So it's going to be pretty dangerous lane even for a safe lane like Ezreal Soraka. I think there's a lot of damage, a lot of CC coming through from that bot lane. So in that regard, I give the edge to Anixia eSports. The mid lane, it's kind of a wash. Sniper's got the cleanse there. You're going to help him out a little bit against Taeyong with Ignite and the Charm. In the jungle, I think Pistol's going to have a higher impact on the game over the Nocturne, who really has to wait till level 6 kind of to have a huge impact in the top lane. Malphite's going to be pretty huge as well, getting to the backline, getting to that safe backline of Soraka Ezreal. So I think I'm going to give the edge to Anixia. How about you, Big Booty? Who are you going to give the edge to?
Well, I don't mind either of these team comps, really. I'm going to, just to be, and we are back in the game here, everyone, as you've probably noticed. But just to be contrary to you and maybe talk about what I like about another team's team comp, I'm gonna give my advantage here to Vis Major.
Sure, give it a shot.
I'll try to give it a shot for you here, Silky.
Someone's got to be the advocate for the other side.
Yeah, well, first of all, I like that we have some comfort champs coming out for them. We've seen Taeyong on this Ahri. We've seen 4-2 on the Nocturne before. Both, strong champions for them. They've got the tank Nautilus in the top lane. That could be the, best top lane pick right now.
Mm-hmm.
He gets very tanky, still does a ton of damage, relatively. So he's going to be very strong. It's just the bot lane that I'm kind of just a little skeptical about. We kind of talked about how the Soraka, we'll kind of have to see how that plays out. But, we've seen in LCS how, when played correctly, how strong of an effect it can have. And Ezreal, of course, very strong right now as well. Pulsis, it will be interesting to see him on something that's not Sivir or Ashe and see if he can perform.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen, we haven't seen Ashe or Sivir all throughout qualifiers, so we've seen him on other champions before. So it's just going to see what he's like in this new atmosphere in a highly competitive match. We've seen, they got a decent placing in the qualifiers due to their success last season, so they kind of had an easier go of things. So this is going to be their biggest competition. We'll see how they can all perform in each respective role without Devmaster J, nonetheless.
Yeah, that's tough for their sub here, Frank Pond, to come in here, game 1 of the regular season against the #1 team from qualifiers, to come in and be expected to perform, as we've never seen Frank Pond play before. Pulsis being chunked out very heavily already, but gets healed back up to more than half health by that Soraka. But some good trading here already by the Anixia eSports bot lane.
Well, that's another danger with the Soraka Ezreal lane. They cannot push at all. Braum, Lucian, very, very good split pushers, or not split pushers, just wave pushers in the first levels there. So they're able to pick up the level 2 power spike a lot earlier than this Ezreal Soraka. Soraka taking the heal first. Ezreal with just the Q can't wave clear. Probably the worst wave clear ADC in the meta right now. So just going to have trouble hitting that level 2 power spike, and they're going to pay for it with health already going to be forced to use potion biscuits being used for Soraka and Ezreal. They're going to get pushed in pretty quickly, and unless they get a gank here, they're not going to leave this tower.
Yeah, definitely not. They're probably going to be sitting under tower here for quite a bit in the early game. But you know what? That doesn't mean they still can have an effect. You know, that's the kind of that's a good thing about Ezreal Soraka. They do have global ults. You know, Soraka can get some healing in. You know, Pulses with the Ezreal throws out that True Shot barrage. Maybe can have, you know, a bit of an effect elsewhere on the map. So even if they do kind of get bullied in lane, they can still try to have a positive effect on other parts of the map.
Right, there's going to be a buff steal here, though.
Yeah, and going in here, and Balsal is the one very low, forced to flash here. Will Taeyong, he will pick up first kill, but he might be the next one to go down, but flashes out of it, and Pulses picks up the second kill onto Pistol, and he's going to try and get some damage down, some follow-up onto Anazir here, but probably not going to be enough, as looks like that was a tiny Warhead flashing over the wall. He's going to run into Pulses, going to do what he can. Frank Pon is there to help heal. Will there be follow-up here? Arcane shifts forward, and he might be able to pick up this kill, and he does. Frank Pon actually picking up the kill on that Soraka, and at 4 minutes, that is 3-0 for Vis Major.
Very, very aggressive positioning there by Anixia eSports. They go for the buff steal, and they get it, and Azir picks up the blue buff, but then the return damage in CC is just too much to handle. They thought they had Taeyong gotten for at least a return kill after he got first blood there, but flashing away, just barely living through the red buff burnage that was coming out from Pistol 44, and then the TPs. This is probably the fastest 5v5 we've had in SKL.
That was quick. I wasn't even ready for that.
Yeah, I'm not totally sold on that stat, so don't quote me on that, but probably the fastest 5v5 we've had in SKL, and it comes out highly in Vis Major's favor here. This is definitely going to help out the bot lane in Pulses and Frank Pon, as Pulses gets 1-0-2, so does the Soraka's Frank Pon there. And the double buffs on the Pulses as well, so this is going to make things slightly easier.
Great stuff all over the place for Vis Major. We've got 4-2 picking up 3 assists on that Nocturne, going to help him hopefully get to, or not hopefully, but hopefully for him get to level 6 earlier. And just summoners burned all over the place in that team fight. I think everyone used at least one at some point, but
except for Sniper.
Yeah, well, sorry. But great start there for Vis Major. Yeah,
definitely. Anixia eSports, like I said, just over-aggressive and trying to steal that buff, not expecting all of the rotations come out from the mid lane and the bot lane as well. That was kind of precarious positioning as well from Anazir. He jumped over the wall, actually, just right there, just above that river brush, and he was pretty much caught behind enemy lines, and then the bot lane followed up. You know, Pulses was there as well as Frank Pon, but we got a little bit of a gank here.
A little gank in the mid lane, maybe not, just a little drive-by there by Pistol 44. Maybe didn't hit the initial spear, maybe we missed that, and then didn't want to follow up. But this is, I kind of mentioned this earlier, is that Anixia eSports really faced no adversity at all going through qualifiers. A lot of their games, were winning at like 18 minutes, just, you know, absolutely ridiculous like that.
Except for, was it ADP or Lunatic or something?
They had a couple games, I think maybe ADP.
Took them over 30 minutes.
Yeah, a couple of teams, or maybe Wider Wong even gave them sub 20 minutes. But still, for the most part, they really didn't face much adversity at all in qualifiers, so it will be interesting to see how they bounce back from this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be adversity. Yeah, we haven't seen them face a lot of it. That fight was actually huge, though, for 4-2 on this Nocturne. Like I said, Nidalee likes to dictate the flow early and throughout all stages of the game. Still going to get that Scuttle Crab, though, regardless of Frank Pon's interruption there. But, yeah, Nidalee going to be slowed down by that fight. Their team going down 3 kills. Nocturne is getting closer to level 6. He's going to be able to pick up his presence on the map as well. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but he might catch out Taeyong.
Yeah, the spear does land onto Taeyong. Pistol 44, not going to be enough. Just chunks him out a little bit, and we'll return to lane. And we're seeing some CS differences here across the map. We're seeing the Anixia bot lane. Lucian's up about 20 CS over Ezreal right now. And then in the mid lane as well, Sniper up about 10 over Taeyong. But then conversely in the top lane, we've got Panda leading Tiny Warhead. So, you know, bit in favors of both, but actually Anixia has enough of a CS lead that they've pretty much mitigated that gold lead that would have came from that initial 3 kills from Vis Major.
Right, well, those early kills definitely help this bot lane, but you got to think about what Ezreal is he might get caught out here, actually. If the stun can land, it doesn't land, but you got to think about what Ezreal likes to build as a champion. He's going to rush tier, right? He wants to get that mana immune early on, so he's definitely not going to have any combat stats. Like that, those kills didn't help for anything. It helped him get his tier faster. It's going to help the late game. He's going to get to that stacked mana immune a lot faster now, but he's still going to be behind in this laning phase as the Braum Lucian into Soraka Ezreal just definitely goes in the favor of the Braum and the Lucian.
As we're seeing some more trading here, Pulse is forced to Arcane Shift out of that, and we'll just back out, and is really starting to feel that that CS difference like we have just been talking about. And yeah, like as I was saying, that gold lead is, you know, basically entirely equal now.
Yep.
But
kills being equal to about 15 CS, and assists being even less than that. So yeah, the CS is able to be picked up in a couple lanes here, mid lane as well. Sniper not using any summoners, so still pretty safe from any ganks, even as 4-2 hits level 6 there, has the cleanse. So if the Paranoia comes in, then the Fear comes out from that Nocturne, to be able to cleanse through that.
Ooh, here comes the culling from Anazir, doing what he can as Taeyong goes in, but there's the Paranoia. On to Sniper, he's very low, but Taeyong getting chunked out very low, and he goes down to Pistol 44. The final spark not going to land onto 4-2. Sniper is very low, but Tiny Warhead is there, knocks up 4-2, and that's the double kill for Pistol 44. And looks like nothing happened in the bot lane there, but yeah.
Yep.
Nice little counter gank there.
Yeah, the cleanse being used there once Taeyong and 4-2 initially, you know, blew all their initiation, blew all their damage.
But Panda flashes in here looking for the 1v3 and picks up the kill onto Sniper and will save the tower as well. Good, nice TP there, response TP from Panda to help try and mitigate the damage from that bit of lost trade there.
Yeah, coming from the bot side of the map there, he didn't actually TP just then on about the same cooldown as Tiny Warheads. I think he might have actually answered it. Wasn't watching the minimap, my bad, guys. But he came up from the bot side, and Sniper stuck around because he just wasn't expecting it. And of course, doesn't have cleanse, doesn't have flash anymore. The ultimate gonna come out from VM Panda and pick up that kill. So a little bit of a return and stops the damage from coming out any longer on the mid lane. So decent trade there. Panda at least getting something.
Yeah, better than nothing. Gets a kill, saves the tower. But that has actually turned the gold lead right now into the favor of Anixia eSports, only by a few hundred, but has put them in the lead nonetheless, despite them being down 2 kills.
Yep, that was a great, I do want to point out the counter gank there from Nidalee as well in the right time at the right, but you always want to be hovering around the lane you think that this Nocturne's going to go to. You pretty much expect it. Once that level 6 comes around, 4-2 is going to be going to any lane, you know? You watch the VODs, you see it all the time on different champions, whether it's Rengar or Nocturne. Once that level 6 hits, you get the semi-global. He's going to be somewhere, so you got to be trying to, it's all the guessing game. You got to be in the right place at the right time.
Ooh, good damage being done here by Panda, chunking out Tiny Warhead. Did land the dredge line to initiate that fight, but not going to have enough. And Tiny Warhead will just retreat under tower. And there's Nautilus, you know, being tanky, but still doing quite a bit of damage. And Panda having, Tiny Warhead just got level 8, but when that exchange happened, did have a 2-level advantage.
Right. Tiny Warhead opting for the early armor. He's going to be going for, the early Chain Vest along with Bammy Cinder. They're actually refunding that, so making me eat my words there. Going to pick up the Null Magic Mantle instead. I was just going to point out that Malphite scales with armor, so you know, the ideal condition is that you want to build armor early, but if you're in a lane that does magic damage, definitely puts you behind. So instead,
here's the Paranoia again onto Sniper and gets chunked out. And that was a lot of damage. 4-2 picking up that kill. And Pistol 44 nowhere to be found on that one. Well, looks like he is there, actually. From the minimap, he is there. Wasn't there quickly enough, though, but Pulsis has to Arcane Shift out and does get stunned up. Frank Pond is there with the healing, and he's all of a sudden full health again. Just Soraka things.
Just Soraka things. Also great silence there by Frank Pond, throwing it right in the area that Nazar was standing on. Not able to bring out a culling or any kind of follow-up like that. Vossel still holding on to that Glacial Fissure as well. So no harm there, but the CS lead ever growing in the spot lane as PM Panda and Tiny Warhead back fighting again in the top lane.
Stop.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's not intentional.
You mean too hard. That top lane, though, you know, Tiny Warhead and Panda, they're both going to get, regardless, they're both going to get pretty tanky here. Bit of a wet noodle fight, as Designinator would call it. I doubt we'll see any solo kills up there.
Yeah, and probably not without jungle intervention there. Do want to point out in the mid lane as well, the cleanse just now up. The cleanse is on a pretty short cooldown, but not as short of a cooldown as the Paranoia and the Spirit Rush from the Ahri Nocturne combination. So as if Pistol 44 isn't literally right there, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill in the mid lane. Nothing you can really do about that as Sniper. You can only do so much. Rush Distortion Boots, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much all you can do in that situation. You gotta hope that your team picks it up elsewhere on the map, but we've got a little bit of invade in the top lane as well as we're looking at this bot lane. 3 members of the top side of the map for VM are gonna invade to try and get pressure around this blue buff area. We'll see.
Here we go. Bit of an exchange going on here. 4-2. Pistol 44 actually forced to flash. The dredge line does land, and will he go down? He will. Panda picks up that kill. Sniper is there, but I don't think he's going to want to take this 1v3. The charm did that land there? Paranoia goes down onto Sniper. Cleanse was used. They're diving under the tower here, and he will go down. And that is 2 more kills picked up here for Vis Major.
That's absolutely great for Vis Major, knowing their limitations on the champions. 4-2 going in with Paranoia, and a couple speed rushes were left, a couple charges left for Taeyong, able to follow up on the Ahri. Forced to flash this 4-2 as he's taking the tower for quite a bit there. I think he could have taken maybe a couple more, just one more. He would have been safe, but yep, better safe than sorry using the flash. Not really going to need it. He's got that Paranoia anyways, you know, he's flying in there. Pretty much. Yeah, it's the same as flash.
But yeah, we're really seeing, again, this strong effect that 4-2 on Nocturne can have. You know, they had that 5v5 team fight in the early game where Vis Major went ahead 3-0. But that sort of kind of happened by chance. There were some good TPs and everything. But now that as soon as 4-2 hit level 6, now we've seen him be involved in three exchanges that have led to kills for Vis Major since he's hit level 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And some going against him as well, but there might be a dive here in the bot lane.
Yeah, Pistol 44 and Tiny Warhead are down. The TP coming in from Panda, but Frank Pond is the first to go down, and Pulsus follows very quickly. This tower should go down as well, but actually, Anazar goes down to the turret. Panda gonna try and 1v3 here. Sniper does show up. Can he pick up any kills on his way to the grave? He will not. There's the shutdown. 4-2 there as well. He gets snared, picks up a kill onto Vasil. Taeyong shows up as well, throws in some spooky ghosts, and Tiny Warhead actually will go down. Can they turn this? No, they cannot. There's the double for Sniper, the triple for Sniper, and
the extended ace.
Yeah, the extended ace. In the end, was that a 5-for-3 in favor of Anixia eSports?
Yes, it was. After the dive, it was all said and done. So after the dive 3-for-3, that was a really aggressive play by VM. Panda flashing in there, but gets exhausted. He had help on the way, but not quite quick enough. Sniper was actually able to beat Taeyong to the punch as well. 4-2 and Taeyong got there at the very end, but Nidalee doing insane amounts of damage, able to land the spear, able to get tons of damage on both members there. I think killing 4-2 and then killing Taeyong at the end there. Triple kill, I think, for Pistol, or double kill?
It was a triple kill for Sniper.
Triple kill for Sniper.
Yeah.
Right. More kills into Pistols. Nidalee, not the best of fights. I think after getting that return kill under the tower, that was good enough. That's a 2-for-1 already. That's, you know, Panda got one back. That was great. That was a little bit of misplay by Anixia there. And Nazar was taking all the aggro from the turret. And yeah, I thought that was good. You just got to leave it at that. But Flash is in. Does get one more kill before he goes down to the follow-up just wasn't there.
Uh-oh, Frank Pond getting chunked out very low here. The ult does come out for the healing. Pulsus forced to Arcane Shift backwards. There it is. And Nazar takes a shot from the turret there. They do survive. Barely, and all of a sudden, holy, Pulsus is all of a sudden full health again. Man, that blows my mind every time. Soraka.
Great champion. But in exchange, Soraka doesn't have health, right? Costs 10%. Yeah. Your current HP to heal up.
And the tower goes down as well.
And the tower goes down as well. So definitely a good trade there for Anixia. Whether they got kills or not, they're going to take that global gold, spread it across the map there, get some maybe to Tiny Warhead, who's down 50 CS in the top lane. Get some elsewhere on the map as well. Sniper not even have to be there. And picking up some more gold for himself. Lux very item dependent. And speaking of items and Lux, we've got a Majid in the game, folks.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Tell me about that, Silky.
I'll tell you about it. Well, it's a decent item on Lux, right? It depends if you can be safe enough here. I'm not totally sold on a Majid. I think that's a little bit of cockiness or maybe overconfidence coming in against a team that has a Nautilus, a Nocturne, and an Ahri. As a Lux, you know, even with Cleanse and Flash, you don't stand the best chances at
There's
surviving.
The Paranoia onto Pistol 44, but maybe not enough members of Vis Major there to help follow up, and they might turn this around. 4-2 getting chunked out pretty low. Soraka is there. Frank Pond bringing the ambulance. VM Panda coming in. Sniper gets knocked up, and there's the shutdown. Tiny Warhead just going to want to get out of here as Panda is taking aggro from the tower, and he will just back up now. Pistol 44 barely surviving in that fight. But you know, that fight engaged by Vis Major, turned around by Anixia, and then turned around again by Vis Major.
Hey, nice Majais though.
Yeah.
Zero stacks. It's almost like I was just talking about it, you know. Pistol 44, very lucky. He didn't go down as well. Initially, not enough vision on the map for that play to immediately work out for VM, but they had the follow-up, right? Panda was in the vicinity. He's able to throw in his CC in with the lot, and enough damage coming out from Taeyong, able to follow up with the multiple charges of Spear Rush, even after 4-2. Ooh, the flash.
Almost the solo kill there for Anazir. And he's just going to duel. This isn't going to end well for Pulsus, and there's the solo kill he wanted. 4-2 gets exhausted here. Concussive blows were stacking, but it's not going to be enough, and Panda goes down. They were hanging out in the river there, but ran into a party of Anixia. But Anazir, will he go down? He will. 4-2 picks up that kill. The charm not going to land. The spear goes forward, lands onto 4-2. Final spark, going to go down on Frank Pond. He goes down, but not before healing his teammates, but with only 2 of them. I don't know if they're going to want to take this fight. 4-2 avoids that spear, and they should just back off of this.
Yeah, Vis Major gets a favorable exchange, getting the mid laner and taking the jungler very low, and then they just kind of throw it all away there just by overstaying. Didn't have the members for some reason. Pulsus on Ezreal with, you know, just Sheep and Manamune.
I don't know why you tried to 1v1 there.
You can't 1v1 Illusion. You know, you just can't do it. You're a kiting champion. You're not a dueling champion, especially down 50 CS. Yeah. You just can't do that. You know, into Essence Weaver, he's got the Kerchie's Shard as well on that Lucian. You just can't be making those kind of plays, especially without the summoners. You don't have the flash. You didn't have the heal available. You just can't do that. You really just can't be in that position. And then in the top side, you see the Nocturne overstaying, forced to flash over the wall. Panda went down as well, just trying to greedily steal that blue buff. Like, who are you going to get that onto? You get that onto Nocturne. You know, he doesn't really depend on blue all that much. Who do you get? You get on a Panda? Unless it was like on Taeyong, I could maybe see it, but that wasn't the case, right? You're trying to deny it, I guess, from this Lux, but you give up 2 kills in the blue buff anyways, so not sold on that. Bad play. Misplay.
Some questionable decision making here.
That's okay.
For Vis Major, Panda actually forced to flash as he ran into a few members of Anixia in the jungle there. Now, while all of that kind of stuff was happening, we did have a couple objectives taken. We did see Anixia eSports pick up the first dragon, and then we did see Vis Major pick up Rift Herald.
Yep.
I think it went over to Panda. I think he picked up the buff, but then he got... Oh, no. 4-2 took it? Who took it? I didn't even see.
4-2's got it.
Okay, yeah, 4-2 does have it. So some objectives being taken, but all in all, Anixia eSports still have the gold lead, but not by much.
Yeah, not by a whole lot, and we see the siege coming out in the top lane now, just trying to take that last outer turret is Anixia eSports. They're very methodical in their approach to this game. They like to get the bottom tower first, which they did.
Ooh, but here comes the Paranoia onto Sniper, trying to pick out Sniper. He will not go down, and 4-2 will actually be the first one to get killed in this team fight by Anazir. Who will be next? Taeyong with the double kill onto the 2 tank members of Anixia eSports, and a great turnaround there for Vis Majors. That was not looking good for them.
Yeah, I thought that it was actually going to turn into Anixia's favor there in that team fight, as we saw the initial, engagement right on the Sniper, just only flashing away, not forced to use cleanse at all, and living through that. That's right away. That's your initiation. All use Panda, use the depth charge, 4-2 going in and then going down immediately, but then not enough follow-up damage. Sniper forced to get out of that fight relatively early, not able to throw in her full rotation of abilities right away, but Sniper is going to get caught here.
Sniper, we're talking about how he did a great job of not dying in that team fight. Panda had been sitting in that bush for the past 30 seconds, deciding whether or not to back, and ultimately decided not to back and gets himself a kill. I'm actually not sure if he's the one who picked up the kill, but they do get a kill onto Sniper with the help of Panda.
Yeah, definitely. An ill-fated siege there, as pointed out by Crafty Buckeye. They do have a decent siege with the Nidalee and the Lux combination, as well as Braum adds some safety there. The tankier that the front line gets, that's going to be a little bit harder for Vis Major to pull off there. The true damage from Taeyong's Orbital Deception on the return trip definitely helps out. So I'm not sure, how long Vis Major can pull that off. Yeah, they pretty much have to dive in before they just get poked down, siege down. They don't have the best of wave clear. They've got Ezreal, Ahri, not the best, right?
Well, Ari's got decent wave clear.
It's okay, but you need levels on those Q, and you need some AP to back that up as well. Not able to clear the waves immediately, and she has relatively short range as well. So, not the best wave clear. It's going to be tough for them. So they kind of have to have this all-in mentality, and it worked out for them there.
Yes, it did, Silky. And also pointed out in Twitch chat, we have surpassed 18 minutes here in this game.
The game is not over.
Yeah, the game is not over. Anixia eSports is not yet victorious by 18 minutes. So we got ourselves a game here.
We do have ourselves a game. Big booty.
Yes, we do.
Contrary to popular belief that this wasn't the game.
This
is
is
fact
indeed a game. The dredge line lands on a tiny warhead. Where's the paranoia? It looks like it went down onto Sniper, who was behind his team. 4-2 did flash there and does go down. The knockups in Glacial Fissure coming in here. Panda in the middle of Anixia. Can he do enough damage onto someone? And Azur does go down, but not before taking down Panda. Who will be next? Vossel dueling here. Pistol 44 taking down Pulsus, and they will back out. And all in all, that was a 3 for 2 in favor. Hold on here, folks. Tiny Warhead caught in the Vis Major jungle, but Vossel is there as well. Abilities being traded back and forth there. But looks like all in all, this will be a 3 for 2 in favor of Anixia eSports.
Yeah, caught between a rock and a grump place there was Tiny Warhead. Woo! Able to walk out of that one, though. Vossel was in the area, able to lend his assistance. Definitely an interesting fight there. 4-2 immediately catching out Sniper, but then he's kind of in the thick of things, and he decides to flash further into the fight in hopes of getting closer to Frank Pond and the rest of his team, so then he can live, but immediately going down, so pretty much 1 for 1. You can pretty much call that fight a 4 for 4 after it's all said and done there. And just the follow-up damage just wasn't available. Taeyang not able to get onto the likes of Pistol 44 and Azur, so they're able to get away from that and pump out tons of damage. The disruption coming out from Tiny Warhead was enough, able to get right onto the back line, able to disrupt all the damage coming out from Vis Major as well. So just not able to get the follow-up damage there, unfortunately, in that team fight. Just one little thing could have went differently there, and maybe, it swings in the way. Maybe that's an ace for Vis Major.
Yeah.
If Taeyang is able to land just one charm there. I saw sail wide at least onto, I think that was Azur. So, things could have went very differently. These fights are definitely very, very close, but...
Frank Pond is getting cut out there, but Panda lands the dredge line. Some spooky ghosts coming out as well. Sniper will go down. The True Shot Barrage goes in as well. Not sure if it landed onto anyone, but Sniper getting caught out yet again. 4-2 wasn't even there for it that time.
Yeah, definitely. The True Shot Barrage just sailing through. Doesn't pick up the assist on that one, but it's the moral support coming through. I can feel good, like you got it. Just in case things go wrong, you got it. You got it. If there's a flash. Great play by Taeyang there to land the charm, pick up that one, and the Dragon's going to go over as well. The Dragon's 1-1. Not a huge priority here in this early game. It's more about towers and kind of kills so far for both these teams.
Yeah, Anixia eSports, used to playing these such short games, they really haven't had to worry about Dragon too much.
What is Dragon? Or Baron?
There's Dragon. Yeah, Baron doesn't even spawn in most of their games. But both teams have that first Dragon, that bonus 6% attack. But as we get further into this game, and as sieging becomes more important, we're going to be looking for these teams specifically to be trying to pick up the second and fourth Dragon.
Yeah, full rotation coming out here from Anixia eSports, all moving up to this top lane. Going to be going up there, just making sure that they're able to get that tier 1 safely taken down. Now the tower is definitely in the favor of Anixia. That's their game, is the tower. The pushing of the tower is the taking. The global gold is huge for them, and they value that very, very highly. They don't know Dragon very well, but they definitely know Rift Herald. That's one of their favorite buffs. In finishing the game so early, it's detrimental that they get those early ones to help split push, help getting the lanes pushing with those minions empowered. That's their game, but right now they have to play a different one, and so far, they're doing not too bad. They're no stranger to the late game by any means.
No, definitely not. They're definitely not out of their comfort zone here. Definitely a very strong team. I'm sure not every single game they ever play ends at 18 minutes, so they definitely know what they're doing. But yeah, like you said, they have four turrets to the only one of Vis Major, which is where the majority of the gold lead for Anixia is coming, as well as there's significant CS differences, specifically in the bot lane, 213 to 159. Could we be seeing a Flame Horizon here coming out from an Azur? I don't know. If the game goes later, it could happen. But
oh, definitely.
Yeah, it could happen. But Vis Major still leading in kills.
Yeah, I'm still caught up on that Majai's buy. I think overconfidence. You got to look at the team composition. You got to think it's either you or Azur who's going to be targeted first by this heavy dive. There's a lot of CC, a lot of ultimates. Cleanse can only go so far. So yeah, poor buy in my my eyes. Wasted gold. I think it only cost like 1,400 or something, but that 1,400 could have went towards a needlessly large rod, you know, could have went to going towards the Zhonya's or something. If you want to survive the initial engage, you know, Zhonya's would have went a long way, I think. Or,
that would have been great for those 4-2 engages.
Just the extra gold in your pocket, even just to get extra damage, if that's what you really want. If you want to go towards that Void Staff, get a little bit of magic pen there. It just could have went towards something different. And she's sitting on 0 stacks. She's dying pretty much every fight because they're targeting this Lux.
Yeah, definitely not.
An immobile mage. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, definitely not working out great for him so far. Now, Silky, we caught some grief for this last season on the pronunciation of Tae Young's name. Now, you've said Tae Yang a couple times, which is how we were pronouncing it last year. But it's
old habits.
Old habits die hard, but we believe it is Tae Yong.
Tae Yong.
Tae Yong?
Yes.
Okay, so confirmed Tae Yong. We pronounced it wrong all last season.
We will continue to pronounce it wrong here.
I won't.
I definitely will throw it in there just for...
Pronounced it wrong all last season until he informed us at the live finals.
Okay, he waited a long time. Yeah. He wasn't totally like... It was kind of like in passing, like, hey guys, it's actually like Tae Yong. But
sorry,
it's okay.
Sorry, Tae Yong.
You can't really blame us, you know. You just gotta pronunciate the best you can. We don't know. People got weird names.
Yeah. And the ZZ Rot portal picked up by Panda in that top lane. But here you go, the engage coming, and the Glacial Fissure goes out. And who will go out first in this fight? The Exhaust down onto 4-2, but Anixia getting chunked out here pretty heavily. The True Shot Barrage goes down, doesn't do a ton of damage. The Charm goes wide. Spears go... Actually, the Spear did land there. The final Spark lands onto 3 members there, but the ult from Soraka, and all of a sudden, those members, except for Soraka, of Vis Major, are full health.
Yeah, great ultimate there by Frank Pond. Would have went down to that final Spark by Sniper there. Interesting, Paranoia not used. There are a couple things. Definitely a fight that Vis Major did not want to take, so they definitely just used what they had to, just like, hey guys, once we're safe, you know, no more. Stop it. We heal up. Well, didn't get the favorable initiation there. It's not a fight you want to force, or you just want to take if you can. Just run away, and that's what they're doing. There's no problem in tuck and tail and running if it's not going to cost you anything.
Yep, true. You know, why not get out of there if you can? And we're coming up on 30 minutes here, and this is such a close game. Do you think either team really has more of a lead than it appears right now, Silky, or is this really a locked up game?
Oh, it's close. It's close. There's the lead, you know, 3,000, 30 minutes into this one. I'd consider it negligible for sure. It's definitely worth considering or worth noting that a Nazar's going to be huge and a lot more big in these fights than Pulsus will be. But Ezreal just, you know, he needs time. He's already got that finished Mira mana upgraded, and he's actually got a Hex Drinker. Doesn't want to get taken down. He's just going to play the poke game. You know, he scales really well with items, so it's going to come eventually. So, I mean, as long as they don't get totally decimated in the next team fight, and they don't, you know, drastically lose more towers or inhibitors, you know, they should be okay. I think they're okay as long as they don't give Lucian anything here. Sniper is definitely down enough that it's not good. He's not going to be huge influence in the next fights. So yeah, I'd consider this almost negligible here. Panda's doing work in the top lane, a lot of CC, and just, you know, based on the kits, you know, Vis Major's in a good spot.
And what do you think of the duo ZZ Rot portals picked up in the top lane? Both top lane members do have them, but here comes the Paranoia. Looks like it will not land successfully onto everyone, and 4-2 will be the first one to go down. Who will be next? Looks like it could be Pistol. The Dredge line goes onto the wall, and Anixia are trying to turn this around as the final Spark did go out. The double kill here is picked up for an Azur. The quadra kill. Penta? Nope. Tae Young has picked up the kill onto an Azur. No Penta available. Can he pick up another kill? The Charm will not land. That could have been the kill onto Pistol 44. The Spear goes out. Dodged by Tae Young. He's doing what he can here, but there's the shutdown finally, and it is the ace for Anixia eSports.
Yeah, that was so forced by Vis Major. They're diving 2 towers deep there. Yeah. 4-2 not having that follow-up. You know, not everyone has a Paranoia. It's got to be close enough to Tae Young that he can follow up a Spear Rush, but just not having pretty much 0 follow-up on that, diving 2 towers deep. Every member pretty much tanked tower at some point. At the end there, Pulse was able to come in, pick up, I think, 1 kill, maybe a couple for himself, but he was tanking tower as well. And, you know, Lucian happily just sitting there. He is forced to use both his summoners in that exchange. I think he was the initial target of some CC and initiation there, but he was able to just tee off on these members that are tanking turret. It's pretty much like Christmas come early here in early March for him. And Azur picking up the almost pentakill. It was a very ill-fated dive. I'm not sure why they thought they could pick that up, especially if they don't know that the summoners are down. They can't go for that risky of a dive.
Yeah, and the couple times we have seen 4-2, he's gone with that paranoia a lot, and the times where it hasn't been successful, where it hasn't really landed, he almost always is the first one to go down for his team. If the paranoia doesn't land, then he almost always just gets chunked out immediately and then does go down, putting his team at a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, it's just trade. It's like classic 4-2, right?
Yeah, it is.
Trading 1-for-1. Yeah, 4-2. Not having a massive impact individually. He's setting up his team a lot with these dives. He's getting the paranoia into the fear combination, and that just basically allows for Taeyong
whoa
to come in.
Whoa, I want to watch this Malphite versus Banner command.
It was a close
Banner
one.
Cannon minion. Yeah,
it was a close one.
Sorry, that was hyped.
Yeah, we call it in the inner circles of League. I call him Frank the Tank. The bannered up cannon minion. Sits out of turn range, beats on it. Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Frank the Tank from Mayor. And another dive
here it is. On to Sniper. Does flash out there, but there's the kill. And looks like they might get tower here. Pistol 44 is there. Throws out a spear. Doesn't land on anyone. Goes wide. Splits the uprights. There's the tower. And that dive a little more successful. A bit more of a pick than the attempted 5-man engage as opposed to last time.
They're still so lucky. They have literally zero vision in the opposite jungle. They Anixia literally could have been sitting on both sides just waiting. Throwing out the bait, but the Baron going to be start here. Is this
this is bold.
Is this the Dignitas throw? We're going to see here. Is this
Dignitas? This is the Dignitoast Baron. The culling comes out, trying to chunk out some members here, as well as the spears, but with Soraka there, a lot of poke can be negated. They do go off the Baron, and looks like they're not going to try and finish it.
Well,
that definitely was a risky Baron with 5 minutes. Oh wait, no, I guess Sniper was still down. Still risky nonetheless.
Yeah, Nixi's gonna be forced to rotate down to this bot side here. They were trying to play the fact that they had the creep wave advantage. They were pinging towards the mid lane and the bot lane. Like, okay, if you get Baron, we'll push, but they only had 4 members. So if they got rotated on and followed just like they are now, there might be a team fight here.
Yeah, here we go. Knockups coming up all over the place. There's the paranoia. Tries to go down onto a Nazar this time, but it's not going to be enough. The True Shot Barrage picks up the kill onto Vasil. Tiny Warhead running around in the middle of Vis Major. Here comes the final spark from Sniper. He gets the kill onto Frank Pond, but he goes down after to Pulsis. Panda trying to chase here, very low, does go down. The charm does not go. Taeyong wants the kill onto Pistol 44, and there it is. Overall, a 3-for-2 right now in favor of Vis Major.
Yeah, they're going to be able to keep pushing here. A great fight there. 4-2 going in and forcing Nazir to blow his heal, and the QSS being used by him as well in that fight. Able to live through most of it and able to survive the end of that fight, but the front line just going down so fast, You see the Braum go down, Pistol 44 going down extremely early as well. Great fight by Vis Major there. They're able to get just enough hard engage onto the back line just to disrupt them long enough that the front line of Anixia able to go down. And then by that time, hopefully the team fight is won. Pulse is having that early Lord Dominic's regard, able to cut through a lot of this.
Lord Dominic sends his regards.
Yeah, sends his regards there. Probably a Blade of the Ruin King going to be coming out as well. Might want to get rid of that Hex Drinker. He's going to be finishing up the mob, Malmortius, actually, so not going to get rid of the Hex Drinker. So going to be actually a little bit squishy here if he decides to go for Bork. Might not decide to go for Blade of the Ruin King now, but that takes away a lot of Ezreal's cutting power. So interesting choice to go for the Maw instead of just like a Banshee's Veil or something a little bit just more defensive. It's going to be interesting. He could have sat on the Hex Drinker for a while, got the Blade, and then sold the Hex Drinker later for a different MR item, but opting to go for something else.
Definitely interesting. Now, Silky, we haven't talked about this yet, but did you, because I always forget, did you happen to look at the Keystone Masteries for any champions in the champ loading screen?
Yeah, I think Pulsis went for the Fervor battle. It's really tough. I wish they would just fix
I wish we could see it in
and show it. Yeah, we don't have enough time to write it down.
Yeah, as we're trying to read, tell everyone who's playing what champion in champ loading. That's the only time we can see them. There's only 2 of us. But I mean, you can probably assume that most people took standard, pretty standard for their roles here.
Yeah, Tiny Warhead probably went Strength of the Ages. Planda probably went not Strength of the Ages. Grasping Undying is a very popular mastery in the top lane. Pistol probably went Thunderlords here. 4-2. Could have went Thunderlords, could have went Strength, could have went Fervor Battle, depending on how fast he can get those stats.
There's a Paranoia coming out somewhere onto 2 members, and 4-2. No follow-up from his team. Hello, team? Darshan? Vasil, the Glacial Fissure comes out, knocks up Panda as he gets chunked out very low and does go down, but Tiny Warhead on the other side, top laner, is going to be no, just kidding. Tiny Warhead will not go down. Volosyl's actually the one to go down here for Anixia. Traded 1-for-1 here. Just 2 tanks traded back and forth here. And 4-2 engaged with the Paranoia, but there was no follow-up from his team.
Yeah, something we've seen a couple times in this game. You know, it's hit or miss so far. They're like 50. They're like 50% from the floor right now shooting, pretty much. They're going in all these initiations. They see one member caught out, whether it's a Naz or Sniper or Pistol 44 even, and they just go for it, whether they have vision or not. And, you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes they don't. I think vision is playing a huge part. Frank Pond doing what he can on the Soraka, but not able to really venture by himself. Azania is actually gonna be built by this Soraka, gonna make her even harder to kill in the backline.
Why not?
Already has the banner. Some really funky picks coming out.
Just a utility Soraka.
Hey, Frank Pond coming through with the big plays here, the big builds. You know, he's coming through. He's opening the gates with that banner.
Classic Frank Pond.
Classic Frank Pond move. Haven't seen him play a single game in SKL, even though he was a sub last year, I believe, too.
Yeah.
So, it's his debut.
This is his big debut. He's been waiting for this day.
And I must say that Soraka has been absolutely huge.
It has.
You know, Malphite going in on the back line, you know, and the Lux AoE damage coming through, the magic damage. He's been huge. He's been detrimental.
Has he been huge?
Absolutely huge. Massive, even.
Massive, you could say. And this will be Dragon number 3 picked up here for Anixia. Picked up pretty much for free. Can you remind me what the third dragon buff is? I know all of them, but I can never recall what
movement speed.
Movement. Yes. Okay. Knew it. I didn't know it actually.
I think
you're right. It is.
I could be wrong.
No, you're right. It is movement speed. It's always the one I just can never remember. I can do 1, 2, 4, 5. Like 3 is always the one that falls by the wayside for me.
That's why I'm here, man.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
I'm your third dragon buff analyst.
That's really all you're good for when you think about it.
Well, pretty much. Saying the same meme over and over again.
Oh my gosh. You went probably about a solid 15 minutes without it.
Saying huge a lot.
Yeah, saying tons of damage a lot.
Tons of damage.
Tons over here.
Coming out.
Oh, but here comes the flank from 4-2. The flank from all members of Vis Major. Who will be the first to go down? As usual, not as usual, but as has been a theme, it will be 4-2, followed by Frank Pond. And with that Soraka down, this is not looking good for Vis Major. Taeyong goes down next. Panda, nope, it's going to be Pulsus next on the chopping block, but quickly followed by Panda. And that is the perfect ace here for Anixia. And as we're at about 40 minutes here, Silky, will this be game?
I'm gonna be bold here and say GG. As long as they get this minion wave relatively quickly, Sniper tanking the turret, they're gonna take turns tanking this. I think they can do it, especially with every single member up. You know, Lucian's pretty decent at taking towers in his own right. They've got the tanky members. They're going to go for it here. Yeah, they can definitely get this in
40 minutes. Death timers were at about 50 seconds. Still about 10 seconds. And then at 10 seconds, it's only going to be Frank Pond on the Soraka coming up, which is not ideal. Both Nexus turrets are down. They're on to the Nexus. And at 40 minutes here, game 1 will go over to Anixia eSports.
Yeah, that was... that was classic Vis Major. Live and die by the dive there.
Yeah, live and die by the metaphor actor 4-2 dive.
Yeah, that game was like pretty much dead even here, and they just decide, why not just like dive headfirst in the enemy team without like the proper follow up on the back line.
To be fair, exactly what happened there, that could have happened about 3 times earlier as well if they had been a bit more unlucky.
Yeah, well, if the fights didn't start to go their way, they got a couple of favorable dives like that, but they go right for the Fed Lucian, don't get him, and if they don't get him, the fight's over immediately. 4-2's going to go down for free. He usually trades 1 for 1 at least if it's a successful dive, sometimes in unsuccessful fights as well. But if they're not able to pick up a Nazar, you just saw there, he's just able to clean up the fight. Pulse is not able to cut through the tanks fast enough. Pretty much living throughout that entire thing. Panda was just trying to peel as well for Pulsus, not able to get the right CC on the right target. I think he actually went through that entire fight without using the depth charge, so that's not something you really want. Taeyong not able to have the right follow-up on the back line, not able to get to Nazar either, so that's just, they wanted to play that game, so I mean they can't feel bad about it. That's pretty much, they made their bed.
They wanted to do,
They made their bed. Now they got to sleep in it.
They slept in it, all right.
They definitely are sleeping right now with the fishes. Just a great game there. That was actually a exciting game to see Anixia go so late, but then I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in Vis Major.
like our moms
throwing away. Yeah, wish you wouldn't have brought that up, but kind of throwing that game away. A great game by Nazar. It was a back and forth. interesting game. I don't know how to break this one down. It was
really interesting. It was just really kind of even the whole way. Both teams had their advantages in different places, kind of at different times in the game, and it really just boiled down to what we've been seeing with a lot of League of Legends games right now. Kind of what tends to happen is you win one team fight, you ace a team, even if you don't have any and in this case, Anixia had no inhib turrets or anything, but you just ace the team, and if it's late enough, you just go win the game.
Well, and that's the risk you got to think of, you know. I think if they were just a little bit more selective, you saw how well their dives worked when they worked.
They did.
If they were more selective, they had the vision set up to allow these dives to happen without any kind of like, you know, counter initiations from Anixia. This game could have been definitely in their favor. Soraka was doing absolute work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nautilus was impossible to take down, doing damage, and had a lot of CC in his own right.
Yeah.
You know, Taeyong was playing well, getting good catches when they had good initiation. So I feel like they're a little more selective, but they live and died by the dive, and they definitely follow their shot caller. I don't know who their shot caller is. I think it's usually Dev and 4-2.
Yeah.
So I guess 4-2's calling the dives. You know, they're gonna follow up.
Yeah, maybe with Dev Master not here to rein him in a little bit.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah, that could be.
I hear Dev's the oldest one on the team, so maybe that maturity, that kind of older brother mentality is like,
hey, it could be.
Like, hey, kid, cut it out or something. You know, rein him in, like you said.
Yeah, rein him in.
Not here.
But game 2, definitely going to be hyped as well. Could go either way. We're going to take a short break here, though, before it, but definitely stick around.